Here is wishing you all a very happy and prosperous 2024. Today is 1st January, the first day of the calendar year, and also the birthday of the legendary investor Charlie Munger. Mr. Munger unfortunately left all of us in the month of November, just 34 days before what would have been his 100th birthday. He lived for almost 100 years, but his wisdom will continue to guide people till eternity. Often known as the right-hand man of Warren Buffett and also the vice chairman of Berkshire Hathaway, Mr. Munger was not only a legendary investor, but a man full of insights and wisdom. As I mentioned, his guidance, his insights will continue to guide people till eternity. Today, on his birthday, I will share 10 of his quotes which I liked the most. So this is not exactly a book review. I have basically taken his quote. The first is, the desire to get rich fast is pretty dangerous. But I think this is very much in line with the investing philosophy of Charlie Munger and Warren Buffett. In fact, I remember someone asked Warren Buffett once that if you think that investing is only about buying the right stock and investing in it for a couple of years, if it is that easy, why doesn't everyone becomes rich? And he answered it because people don't want to get rich slowly. So Mr. Munger's philosophy was that if you want to get rich, you have to get rich slowly. You have to find companies which are worth investing. You have to invest and you have to wait. Patience, he mentioned, is very important. You just cannot get rich overnight. His entire track record is a testimony of that fact. They never wanted to get rich. They never wanted to get a stock which was in the news or in the making headlines. They only invested in companies which they found to be good, and they waited patiently for years and in many times even decades. And what they achieved is, well, for everyone to see. Second quote, knowing what you don't know is more useful than being brilliant. Once again, pretty much in line with their investment philosophy, you have to invest in what you know. It's absolutely okay if you don't know many things, but understanding that is critical. You have to know what you do not know, what you do not understand. So one example is that when the tech stocks were making headlines everywhere, everyone in the world was investing in tech stocks, Berkshire Hathaway did not invest in it because Mr. Buffett and Mr. Munger said that, hey, this is a business we don't understand. They were very clear what they did not know, so they did not put any money in that. And we all know when the tech bubble burst, Mr. Buffett and Mr. Munger were the only one smiling. The third is, you should remember that good ideas are rare. When the odds are greatly in your favor, bet heavily. Once again, of the entire success of Berkshire Hathaway, which made Warren Buffett among the richest people in the world, the good ideas, even in a company like Berkshire Hathaway, were rare, the good investing ideas. Because I remember in one of the investor calls, Mr. Munger himself said that, if you remove the top 10, 15 of our stocks, our company's long-term track record would be pretty average. Even people like Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger did not get too many great ideas. For them, the great ideas in a way were limited to some 10, 20 of their top stocks. So he says that, whenever there is a great idea, make sure you bet it. Or bet it, you can say, it's basically, you can say you invest in what you find as a great idea. But yes, the fact is the great ideas are going to be very, very rare. If you are not willing to react with equanimity to a market price decline of 50%, 2 or 3 times a century, you are not fit to be a common shareholder. Well, once again, yes, they say that when you are investing, you should always be ready for a fall. There's absolutely nothing which guarantees that there will not be a fall. You cannot just keep on investing thinking that the prices will never fall. Prices do fall, and very likely they will fall. In fact, they ask you to be prepared for a fall of as high as 50%. Mind you, he lived for about a century and he has seen many market crashes, many recessions, many depressions, world wars, pandemics, and whatnot. However, he ensured that he stays invested. The fifth is, I have never succeeded very much in anything in which I was not very interested. If you can't somehow find yourself very interested in something, I don't think you will succeed very much, even if you are fairly smart. Well, we often say follow your passion, follow what you like doing it. I think Mr. Munger has said exactly the same thing. If you're not interested in something, you better don't do that. Even if you're talented to do that, chances are that you will not be able to do a great job out of it. Having interest in something, having a passion for that is critically important if you want to succeed in something. And he said that he became a legendary investor, a successful investor, because very importantly, he was interested in investing. Mind you, he never took any official course in either economics or business or finance. He was trained as a lawyer and a meteorologist. Yet he was interested in investing, and that's one of the key reasons why he became what he became. Okay, this one is my favorite. In my whole life, I have known no wise people who did not read all the time. None, zero. You would be amazed at how much Warren reads and how much I read. My children laugh at me. They think that I am a book with a couple of legs sticking out. As I said, this is one of my favorite. If you want to be an expert in something, you have to make sure you keep on reading. Mr. Buffett and Mr. Munger, even at a very late age in their life, they kept on reading every day for several hours. So if you want to be an expert in something, you cannot become an expert, you cannot become best in something unless and until you keep on reading about it. Reading not only gives you knowledge, it also expands your horizon, it helps you things, it helps you understand many things, it helps you understand the world, it helps you understand the society or whatever. All the wisdom which you gain proves to be very, very useful. Okay, this is something again I like a lot. I constantly see people rising in life who are not the smartest, sometimes not even the most diligent, but they are learning machines. They go to bed every night a little wiser than they were when they got up. And boy, does that help, particularly when you have a long run ahead of you. So I think many of you would have seen and noticed in your life, you see people rising, people growing who you think are not really very talented. And Mr. Munger says the same thing. However, he adds that these are those people who keep on learning, who keep on adding to their knowledge base. You may not be supremely talented, but we have this knack for, enhancing your knowledge base. If you go to bed a little wiser every day, chances are that you will succeed much more than others. The eighth one is, I have never been able to predict accurately. I don't make money predicting accurately. We just tend to get into good businesses and stay there. In my view, this is one of the most important lessons for an investor. Investors are hugely interested in predicting what will be the target price, what will be the profit next year, what will be the likely margin next year on the 6 months or say 2 years down the line. And Mr. Munger makes it very clear that I never predict because I cannot predict accurately. He makes a point to understand what's a good business and ensures that he invests and stays invested in that business. I think beyond all the ideas of some fancy calculations on Excel and forecasting for 1, 2, 3 or 4 years, the key is to ensure that you get into a good business at the right price and stay invested instead of making assumptions every now and then. Second last is, a great business at a fair price is superior to a fair business at a great price. So once again, this forms one of the core ideas of Munger's philosophy. And in fact, this is one thing Warren Buffett learned from Charlie Munger, that instead of looking at something which is undervalued, you should look at something which is a great business, even if it's not deeply undervalued. Investing in a business only because it is undervalued is not a great idea. As I said, it's far better to buy a great business at a fair price. If it's a fair price, but if it's a great business, chances of money increasing are very, very high. Don't go for a bargain only because it's a bargain. The business has to have something which makes it increase in the future. Last one is, it's waiting that helps you as an investor, and a lot of people just can't stand to wait. Well, once again, this is one of the hallmarks of Mr. Munger's life, that waiting, having patience is very important, which unfortunately most of the investors lack because of misunderstanding, because of a wrong perception about investing, because of sheer greed. People just don't wait for their investments to grow, or if they wait for a very short time horizon. What is critical is that once you've identified a good business, you've got to stick with it to see it grow. And to what heights it can reach, well, nobody can guess that. Well, this is all for today. Thank you very much for watching the video. As I said, Mr. Munger is unfortunately not with us, but sir, I'm sure your wisdom will continue to guide people till eternity. And I hope more and more people learn about you and read your ideas. Thank you.